Okay, so just thinking about this again, there is a problem with this. Looking at this brilliant diagram, the problem with it is I'm dealing with the origin and the left-hand side of the work zone transformed. I'm here, origin, left, are transformed and transformed by the work zone matrix. This is not, and I'm dividing a transformed thing by an untransformed thing, so I think that that is incorrect. Now, it's either divided by or multiplied by, I'm not actually going to think about which it is, and it's the same for this. That needs to be, I think, well, now, this is the question. This is where I get really bad at it. Because I'm doing these two operations, does it actually not matter? I think I'm just going to press on, because it's something very close to this, and actually I can just start drawing lines and looking. And I'm just going to call these off and space, because I'll just use the same variables for the horizontal lines as well, but I will do them shortly, because if I can get these working, the horizontal lines should be fine. They should work the same way, basically. What I'm going to do is a for next loop. Now I want to figure out how many vertical lines are going to be drawn. I know the left hand side of the screen, I know the right hand side of the screen, so I know it's width in workspace, so to speak. I know the width of a snap size in workspace, so I need to transform it back into screen space and divide it by the width, or no, it doesn't matter, I just don't do either. I need to know the number of lines, so I can just say local num lines int. Should I use an unsigned int? I probably should, shouldn't I? Get into the habit of doing this kind of thing. Local num lines unsigned integer. It needs to be right minus left divided by project grid snap size, because the grid snap size is in workspace. Right and left, R and L are in workspace, so is the right number. Now is it, yeah, just the integer of that. So if it was 10 units wide, or yeah, what about this setup, 20 units wide, 1, 2, 3, 20 divided by 5 is 4, but that's right. 4 vertical lines across the screen. Why is that always right? It's right because even though it looks like there may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions, one of these will always be off the side of the screen. Am I right about that? I think I am. This is how I think, basically. Constant guesswork. So it is just, yeah, like the integer of this value. God, sorry, I am so slow, and I probably don't need to be so explicit, but I will be. And I should even just say unsigned integer of it. It will be, hopefully, always positive. Okay. So, I'm just going to be really super explicit. Cur pause is my little current pause notion. Cur pause equals off. Is that right? I start with the offset, but it's at grid snap size. That is in screen space. No, that isn't. Yeah, workspace. TN is in workspace. Off is in workspace. So it actually needs to be off divided by project display Z. Right? I think, so that I'm getting back to screen space in one dimension, in the X dimension. My goodness, I have no idea really. Let's just give it a go. G-line draw. My line command. It's hideous as well, but let's just use it. These are a series of vertical lines, so their X position starts at current pause. Their Y position is just the top of the face in screen space. That's face left, which I define up here as just being face left. Face being the component of the GUI gadget. Right, I'm just keeping track of myself here. The other end of the line, X2 and Y2, is the same X position, and the Y position is the face bottom. The thickness I will make 1. The colour, I hate having to come up with colours as well actually, but I'll make it the axis colour for now. No, I won't. I will find another, and it will be guide colour, and it will just be something slightly darker. All of these things kind of need to change. What am I looking at? Draw mode. Why am I not finding what I'm looking for? It's because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, and I apologise. Look at all this rubbish. Work zone is another load of rubbish hidden inside all the rubbish. Work zone, here we are. Colours, axis colour. I'll call this restraint colour. Well, I know I won't. I'll call it guide colour, because it's shorter. This is my own colour thing as well. I am duplicating things that Monkey provides because I've got all this old code which I'm so sort of wedded to in spite of the fact it's silly. I'll make it even darker than that. This is a dark grey. The axis a dark grey, this is a darker grey. That'll do. Guide colour. Yeah, my colour is duplicating things that really... What hideousness is that? Check. Okay. I apologise. This is why I'm doing this. It's because I'm trying to stay more focused, and I need to finish draw. I need to get in here and say it is guide colour. And part of this class is AV, an unsigned integer. Blend, which I'll come back to. It's a whole aspect of drawing in OpenGL I wasn't aware of, but blend mode alpha, and the last pixel will be drawn. That LP component of this is whether or not you want to draw the last pixel. Anyway, right, now I hate this bit for starters, and I've missed an I. Now, because in my brain, what else have I missed? Nothing. My computer isn't really fast enough for this editor. In my brain, I kind of think like maybe that's it, but actually I know it absolutely isn't. And all I'm doing is drawing a bunch of horizontal, vertical lines. Okay, here I go. I did not check the time. What have I done? 9:43. That's a better way to check the time. So, I've got doubts about the screen space versus workspace. here with my grid snap size variable in amongst all those maths. It's probably really tedious to hear this if you know what you're doing. And again, my computer's having some trouble doing compiling because of other work it's doing, capturing this video. Also, sometimes it compiles quite slowly. Okay. Well, that's disappointing. It's drawing absolutely nothing. Oh, something appeared there. Look at that. Great. Okay, well, none of that is working. That's not really unexpected. At least some lines sometimes appear. Where are we? This is a difficult bit because this is the transformed and left. This is like the wrong way round. Actually, transformed and face left. I'm being so stupid. Transformed is effectively where the origin appears on the screen, not in world space. The origin is always 0, 0 in world space. The origin, the OT is origin transformed. It's where it is on the screen. So if I'm using that in the screen, it must be so obvious that I'm making these mistakes. I looked at the last video and could see 100 mistakes that I'd made. Just little things in what I was saying which were just wrong. But anyway, origin transformed is in screen space. This is in screen space. So if I'm using origin transformed, I have to use this, which means that this needs to be in screen space. Which means I think it needs to be project times display Z. I'm probably going to find out that this is the wrong way round. And I've got too many brackets probably. And what have I made a mistake, or is it just my slow computer? Okay. That means that this is also in screen space. So this has to be in screen space. I bet I'm getting every one of these sums the wrong way round. Now, grid snap size, right, yeah, because that, I missed another thing, curpos plus equals, I'm sorry, but this is plus equals space will help. Curpos off divided by, and that's no longer right, because now it is definitely in screen space and my brain begins to work. This, you see, I think that could be both, and for the sake of doing maybe fewer sums, I don't know, I think I'm going to leave that as it is, because really it's just about figuring out the number of lines in the display. That's world space, this is in world space. Excuse me, my coughing. Right, let's have another go. This is the way I code. I'm not experienced, I'm not really trying to work with other people, I'm not, so it ends up being a mishmash. And I'm not proud of it, but that's kind of the way I enjoy doing it, so hey ho. Now, I feel like we're getting somewhere. I feel like I'm getting somewhere. It's not quite right. Okay, what do I see? I see that it's not drawing to the edge of the screen. Eventually does it recede completely? No. Okay, it's not drawing to the edge of the screen, and it's moving left and right, okay. But look at that. As I zoom, it's zooming an incorrect amount. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is that. Okay, and it's offset. First, moving this to anything, no. The reason I did a new project there was that, look at that. Why is that like that? Why is the top not meeting the top of the screen? The reason I did a new project was that it set the scale to 0, which is not a thing I actually offer very much control over, because I have thought about it being natural to use, that you don't have to concentrate too hard on the numbers or how close to the screen you are. Or, anyway, I'm wittering. So, it's out of alignment, and zooming makes it worse. It does do a certain amount of zooming, which I hate because it means I'm just like really, really wrong about something. What's the problems? The first problem is cur pause is float off. That's not right. It's actually float off plus face left. And that's not right. That should be face top. Okay, cur pause, face top, face bottom. I was drawing the lines in all the wrong places. Let's start again. Well, this, like I say, this is why it is incompetent coding, because I'm basically guessing most of the time, looking back and finding all the problems I made. Never doing a very good job first time of figuring it out. It's lined up. It's scrolling. It's zooming. Let me have a little think about if I should congratulate myself. I'm one line too short over here, I can see. They reach the top and the bottom. They appear on the left hand side. I can see them appearing and disappearing. Might not be appearing on the appearing on the video, but I'm probably just, for starters, wrong about this. I'll just do 2 num lines, and as always, it's not quite an out by 1 error, is it? It's just, maybe it is, I don't know. Like I say, I'm not trained enough really to know what a lot of the official names for problems and solutions are. It's a little bit frustrating to me that it takes so long to compile, because I don't have that much to say apart from that, yeah, I'm just working away. And I might have to think about lowering my resolution to make it easier. I don't know. Okay, now I can just move the screen like this, and I can see the line appearing and disappearing off the right hand side at the correct time as well. This is fine. Okay. I didn't get the sums as wrong as I can sometimes get them. So now I'm going to just do the same thing again. I don't want that. I want horizontal. No, I'm so sorry. Vertical. Horizontal. So now Tn equals OTY minus face top, minus face top, divided by project. I should probably just do something like this. Local. I'm doing a lot of multiplying project grid snap size by project display Z. I mean, I wonder, I don't know enough about matrix multiplication. I do it to do affine transformations, and I know the basics, but I don't know subtleties and things of matrix transformations. This sort of thing is maybe something you can get out of a matrix transformation. It's just, I don't know. Anyway. And again, think of a variable name. It's screen space grid snap size, yeah. So it's screen grid size. Okay, not very nice maybe, but that's how I like it. And I will do away with the outside brackets. Not that pedantic. Now, so screen grid size. Oh, my poor editor. I like the editor in this language. I like all sorts of things about this language. And I don't need space, it's just screen grid size. Nice, that is a bonus. always nice. I should have seen, of course, that I was already figuring that out, but hey ho, this is the way it goes. This is incompetent coding. I hope I'm right. Just get rid of that because I'm going to do it. Right. And that makes me wonder if I should do this sum differently, because in fact I should, because I'm already doing screen grid size. If instead of doing that in world space or edit space, world space, I do it in screen space. I say face equals num lines. Oh, I'm so sorry for maybe getting held up on this when I should just be rattling through to the end. Let me see what I'm doing. Just over 20 minutes, okay. Num lines, unsigned int equals unsigned int. What am I actually doing here? Right, instead of doing this in world space, I wanted to do it in screen space. And the width of this in screen space is actually just face width. So that's a bit quicker. Divided by screen grid size. Seeing as I'm already doing that sum to get it out the way, okay, power on. What am I doing? Divided by screen grid size. Off equals the temporary number minus the integer of the temporary number divided by screen grid size. Am I getting this all the right way around again? Num lines equals the unsigned int of the height of the face gadget divided by screen grid size. And current position equals... I wonder if I could just compress this down. I don't really need current position, do I? I just need to offset. And that is, I know I'm probably adding too many brackets, plus face left. So I can just do that and do it to offset. Off, off, off. I'm going to assume I'm right about that, like a silly man. And again, here, no need for that. I just have to add face top to the initial offset. Num line, face height, what's the problem? Num lines, correct. Thank you. For node, yeah, I guess. I always wonder if I should declare when I'm doing a bunch of little loops. Here again, do I do unsigned int? Is that really the wise thing to do? To num lines, I think I will. I think every time something's never going to be a negative, this is just another habit that my badly trained brain is never going to. What am I doing? G line. Draw. Now, this time it is face left, comma off, to face right, comma off, comma 1, comma guide. Much easier when you've got something to read off, to follow. Blend mode, blank mode, alpha, off plus equals screen grid size. Okay. Seems reasonable. Okay, I see. Thank you. Now, I hope those changes have not made me lose all my grid lines. We'll see. So, lines top to bottom, left to right. It has. Okay, what's the problem? There's something not working about this up-down offset. Let's have a look. OPY minus plus. left right is still working, so the things that I've done have not broken it. I'm really looking here. That is the problem. I knew there was something wrong with that. Have I got that wrong as well? Well, it's the difference anyway. So, I'm assuming it. That's the thing. Sort of. Honestly, one time I will stop apologising for how quickly I forget things and everything like that. But I get there in the end. As does the compiler. I assure you it is usually a lot faster than this. Monkey does some sort of selective compiling. Again, that's not quite the correct name for what it is that it does. Okay, grids, baby. They come on the top at the right moment. They come on the bottom at the right moment, and the left and the right, and they scale correctly, and I can see. I wonder if and they assume their number correctly. I'm pleased they turn on and off. Now, initially, I was looking at the previous video and I'd said that I'm not going to bother drawing the things first, and then I immediately contradicted myself and went and started drawing them. And I was thinking to myself, that makes more sense, because I wanted to figure these things out. At least I can see where those grid lines are, and I'm confident that's where they are, because this is a 1920 by 1080 representation at a scale of 1 to 1, and I know it's scale of 1 to 1 because I did a new project and I can count. I will make the grid size 100 again. These are all my odd GUI gadgets. They're pretty goofy, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means 10. Huh. Something's weird about this. Right, that's better. Sorry, it was slightly off center and I thought I'd made a mistake, but I must have moved it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1000, because this is a grid size 100, and there is the 40 at either end. Does that look like a 40? Like it would have to be 40% of this grid size, so yes, I call that a success. And I'm at 28 minutes nearly. So, the reason it's better for me to have seen the grid first is it just gives me immediate visual feedback about whether or not the sums I'm doing are right. And as far as this is concerned, I'm pleased to say they are. And for what it's worth, I can't snap to the grid yet, but it is pleasing to see it, because I can at least sort of... I wonder if I can make a 3, 4, 5 triangle. It means that these things need to be 5 long, and it needs to have a gap of 3, so like 5 units, 3 units, up 4 units. I should have turned on some recursions first. Across 3 units, and across 5 units. So that's my excellent demonstration of the first sort of... It's actually, is that right? 5, yeah, that'll be 5, 3, 4, 5. So each of these is 5 line. That's my first little demonstration of using the grid, even though it's not actually working. Well, that's fine. That's not bad for an hour. I'll call it that. The next thing I'm going to do is make the things actually snap to the grid. That'll be fairly simple. I will code them such that you just get within a certain radius of one of the grid intersections and they leap to it, rather than leaping all the time straight to an intersection. There are a few reasons I think it'll be easier if I do it that way, but I will get to them for the time being. Tatty bye. This is what I need.